Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for your continuous love and support for this channel. Like I always say, this channel cannot be in existence without your support and your love for the channel. Your comments has been incredible and the interaction has been well received, and I appreciate you all for your love. If you are a returning subscriber, I say thank you very much. And if you are a newcomer to this channel, please do not leave without subscribing and making your presence noticed in the comment section. We are very interactive in the comment section. So ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been a while, but I am back, and today's topic is a very reviving and an inspirational topic. And I hope you love it the same way I love it. So, like I said, today we'll be exploring the remarkable resurgence of revolutionary ideas in Burkina Faso, led by no other than Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the youngest and the most loved president of Africa, the one who resonates with the youth and the one who is most loved by the youth of today Africa. If you know anything about Burkina Faso's history, then the name Thomas Sankara will ring a bell in your head, or you will as well resonate with the name Thomas Sankara. Sankara, often duped, was often referred to as African Che Guevara, was a revolutionary who during the 1980s sought for nothing but to transform his country into a beacon of self-reliance, a social justice, and African unity. Decades after his assassination, his ideas are no longer in a distant memory. They are being revived and reimagined by a new wave of leadership in Burkina Faso under Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Ibrahim Traoré, ladies and gentlemen, isn't just invoking Thomas Sankara's name. He's taking bold steps that mirror Thomas Sankara's revolutionary policies. Today, we'll break this down into bits and pieces for everybody to understand. If you didn't know much about Thomas Sankara, I am happy that I'm bringing this today, because in this episode, I'm going to bring it down to the level that we'll all understand why he's often referred to amongst the many Pan-Africanists that we have, those that fought for African liberation and for African unity. So in today's episode, we will break down how Captain Ibrahim Traoré's vision for Burkina Faso aligns with the principles that Thomas Sankara fought for, and why his leadership has struck a chord with young Africans hungry for change within the African continent. Let's dive in and see how Traoré is carrying forward Sankara's unfinished dreams, or the vision he had for Burkina Faso, and giving new life to a legacy of anti-imperialism and self-reliance. Remember, Thomas Sankara was an advocate and remains, even after so many decades of his death, an advocate for anti-imperialism in Africa, and an advocate for self-reliance and self-governance in Africa in all its domains. And this is what Ibrahim Traoré is doing today. So let us see what this is all about. Thomas Sankara's name has become synonymous with revolutionary change in Africa. That is a fact. As a leader, Sankara defied the norms of his time. Like I said, if you knew who Thomas Sankara was, you will know that these are all facts. As a leader, he defied the norms of his time, pushing back against imperial powers, embracing social reforms, and demanding that African countries take control of their own destinies. I will bring another episode on Kwame Nkrumah, the Jomo Kenyattas, and many more of our the forefathers of Pan-Africanism, what their vision was for Africa and for their countries, and what the country has become in today's Africa. His vision for a self-reliant, independent Burkina Faso inspired millions across the continent. Yes, it inspired millions across the continent and even beyond the African continent. Because don't forget, not only Africa was suffering from imperial rules. So it didn't just inspire millions in Africa, but it also inspired millions who were also suffering from Western colonialization. So this legacy, yet his legacy was tragically cut short by his assassination in 1987. We all know that he was assassinated. No matter what they come to tell you, know that he was assassinated in 1987. Many feared that his revolutionary ideas would be buried with him. But thank goodness, today, those fears are fading away as we witness a new leader rise from the ashes of Thomas Sankara's legacy. Yes, Africa is witnessing a new leader who rising from the ashes of Thomas Sankara's legacy. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is not only invoking the memory of Thomas Sankara, but also actively implementing the policies that once defined Burkina Faso's revolutionary era. Yeah, he is actually actively implementing these policies that once defined Burkina Faso's revolutionary era. So Traoré's bold moves to construct Burkina Faso's first gold refinery mirrors Thomas Sankara's philosophy of resource control. Remember, in previous videos, I've mentioned that Burkina Faso was bent on promoting national industries. And because of that, he set up the first gold refinery, which mirrors exactly what Thomas Sankara's philosophy was about: control of natural resources within his country. It's a modern-day answer to the problem Thomas Sankara identified decades ago: the siphoning of African wealth by foreign powers. By defining or by refining its own goal, Thomas Sankara and now Ibrahim Traoré aims to keep profits within the country and ensure that Burkina Faso's natural resources benefit its own people. This has been the slogan and the mantra. This is what Ibrahim Traoré has been preaching. And we must say thank you.
Welcome to the African Leadership Series, where we bring you great inspirational speeches from African leaders. Who in this room does not wish to see our debt simply cancelled? If you don't, you can take the first flight to the World Bank to go and pay to the World Bank. I would like this conference to clearly declare that we cannot pay the debt, not in a rebellious spirit, but just to avoid being assassinated individually. In Burkina Faso, I'm the only one to refuse, and I might not be in the next conference. But on the other hand, with everybody's support, and when we are saying that we should not pay the debt, we are not refusing our responsibilities or not keeping our words. It's just that we don't have the same moral standards as others. Between the rich and the poor, moral standards cannot be the same. The Bible or the Quran cannot serve those who exploit people and those exploited ones in the same way. We should have 2 editions of the Bible and 2 editions of the Quran. Brothers, with everybody's support, we will make peace at home. We will be able to use Africa's full potential, as well as develop our country because our land is rich. We have enough manpower and we have a very large market. From the north to the south, to the east to the west, we have enough brain power to create, or at least go and learn science and technology where it can be learned from. Mr. President, let's present a united front against the debt here in Addis Ababa. Let's make sure that this conference will decide to limit the arms race between poor and weak countries The clubs and knives that we buy are useless. Let's make sure that the African market belongs to Africans. Let's produce in Africa, manufacture in Africa, and consume in Africa. Let's produce what we need and consume what we produce. Instead of importing goods, Burkina Faso came here to show our locally produced cotton, woven in Burkina Faso, tailored in Burkina Faso, to clothe our own people. I, along with my delegation, am dressed by our tailors, our farmers. Not a single thread comes from Europe or America. I'm not presenting a fashion show here, but simply I would like to say that we must accept to live the African way. It's the only way to live in freedom and with dignity. Thank you, Mr. President. Our homeland or death of.
To a revolutionary leader like Thomas Sankara, who had this vision for Africa and for his country, and that the other leaders who came and ignore it are today in shame because somebody has risen to revive the views and the policies of Thomas Sankara. And we all give thanks to Ibrahim Traoré for believing in what his predecessor believed in. So, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't stop there. Just as Sankara expelled French military forces to assert national sovereignty in Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, we know in the past, last year, has taken a similar stand, ending the long-standing French military presence in Burkina Faso. The French military has been in Burkina Faso for decades, controlling every aspect of the country, from economy to financing to military and everything. They've been controlling it, even if they don't say it loud and clear. So he has also chosen to forge new alliances, aligning with partners like Russia and Turkey, and signaling a rejection of neo-colonial influence in Burkina Faso. This move, or all these moves, much like Sankara's move, has been met with both praises and criticism. Remember that this is also what Kwame Nkrumah suffered in the hands of Ghanaians, and we will bring details on that in the next episode. So whatever Ibrahim Traoré is doing today has met both praises and criticisms. And we expect this to happen, definitely, because if he doesn't face a criticism, then it will be like just imposing his rules on people and the people just following without having a mind of their own to reason if this is right or wrong. So we are happy that despite the fact that he's been praised, there are still critics who also think that there are some steps he's taking that do not align or that they do not support. And we will look into all of this. But that is a good sign. That is a good sign. We need to have people to be able, a democratic country where you can approve and disapprove. People agree to disagree. So that is how it works. So, but for many, right, so many people are of the opinion, or they see Thomas Sankara and Ibrahim Traoré, they see him as a necessary step, or the actions he's taking as a necessary step towards true independence for Burkina Faso and for Africa. The hope is that more other African countries will follow suit to truly be independent, because most African countries are not independent. They are just there. They're just, it's just a name. They are not independent at all. Great. So, beyond economic and security, Traoré shares Sankara's Pan-African vision. So Traoré will now be added amongst, is already added amongst the many Pan-Africanists, those that are fighting for African unity, fighting for true independence in Africa. Thomas Sankara, there's no way you will mention the founding fathers of Pan-Africanism and you will not see Thomas Sankara in it. So beyond the economics and security, Ibrahim Traoré shares Sankara's Pan-African view or vision. Sankara was a tireless advocate for African unity, just like Kwame Nkrumah, just like Kenyatta and the others, believing that only through collective strength could African nations break free from the chains of colonial legacy. Traoré too is a vocal proponent of Pan-Africanism, rallying young Africans around a shared vision of dignity, self-determination, and unity. His speeches often echo the same very cause of independence that made Sankara a hero in his time, resonating deeply with a new generation that is also yearning for freedom and yearning to change the status quo in Africa. So these are the things that really make Ibrahim Traoré most loved amongst the youth. He is a young leader and he is standing for what they believe is true. Because if you want to truly be independent, you must be able to control every aspect of your society. And this is not what has been happening in Burkina Faso before Ibrahim Traoré. But all thanks to the fact that there was a predecessor and there's been precedent, he can actually look through that. About the realm of social development. And we are all aware that Thomas Sankara was very vocal and was very, he had passion for healthcare and for education in Burkina Faso. So in the realm of social developments, Ibrahim Traoré focuses on healthcare and education, also draws a direct line or link between Thomas Sankara's reforms. Sankara led extensive vaccination campaigns and invested in literacy programs in Burkina Faso. We've seen videos and read about the extensive work he did in Burkina Faso through the health sector. And so, believing that the strength of a nation lies in the health and knowledge of its people. This was Sankara's view. Sankara had extensive vaccination campaigns, invested a lot in literacy programs because he believed that the strength of a nation lies in the health and knowledge of its people, which is absolutely true. Today, Ibrahim Traoré's administration is investing in local clinics and schools, continuing Sankara's mission to empower the Burkinabe people through self-reliance and local resources. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope we are listening. Ibrahim Traoré stands at a critical junction in Burkina Faso's history. This must be noted. He's not just a leader, he is a torchbearer for a revolutionary legacy that was once thought to be lost. His actions reflect a deep respect for the ideals of Thomas Sankara, while adapting them to meet the challenges of today's world. For many young Africans, Traoré represents a new hope for all of us, a new hope for all of us. We know he came in through a coup d'etat, but sometimes some measures are necessary to set the record straight. So Ibrahim Traoré represents a new hope, a leader who embodies the spirit of Sankara and reignite the dream of united, self-sufficient Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we've set the stage by looking at how Ibrahim Traoré's leadership reflects the ideals of Thomas Sankara, let's dive deeper into the specific actions taken by Captain Ibrahim Traoré that brings back the good memories of the works of Thomas Sankara in Burkina Faso. We'll explore them step by step and see the steps that he's using to implement or he's implementing to achieve economic independence, his bold stance against foreign military influence, his call for for African unity, and his focus on social development. These are not isolated policies. Let us note, they are part of a broader vision inspired by Thomas Sankara's revolutionary legacy. So we'll break them down, starting with economic self-reliance and the bold steps to control Burkina Faso's gold resources.